Hi everyone, welcome to Cultural Dishcovery. I'm Shelina Elyse, your host, and I am practicing my cooking skills and exploring cultures through, today, celebrity recipes. The cookbook I'm using today is Antoni in the Kitchen. And Antoni, if you didn't know, is on an Emmy-winning show from Queer Eye. It's a Netflix TV series. Much of the world, as myself, loves this show and how heartwarming and wonderful it is, how it brings folks together, folks of all different kinds of walks of life, and even in international countries. So Antoni is one of the transformation components. He primarily deals with the food, culinary, and hosting aspects. And this book is actually with a foreword from Ted Allen, who is the original culinary piece of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy from, I believe, the early 2000s, which that was also an incredible show. I'm glad to see the transformation from then to now and how that works in today's culture and mindset. So this book from Antoni is really wonderful. It does show a lot of really what Antoni is about, his heart, how he likes to share himself and unite people through food, which is kind of what I'm trying to do as well. It has a lot of beautiful, heartwarming stories, and it really feels like he's talking to you and coaching you through these recipes, giving you the tips and tricks that he would tell you as if the two of you are cooking together. So that's what I really love about this book. And this is actually the first recipe, the perfect bite, what we're doing today with the appetizers. And it's one that I love in restaurants, and I figured, hey, he's got a recipe, let's go ahead and try it out. So Antoni in the Kitchen. So the perfect bite, as Antoni describes it, that includes dates. These are medjool dates. Also blue cheese, which we'll talk about in a moment because I understand it's polarizing. Marcona almonds, and then prosciutto. It gives you that excellent chewiness, crunchiness, crispiness from the prosciutto, and saltiness, sugariness. It really is a perfect bite. I know whenever I see this on a menu, I think I absolutely have to have these, and why not make them today? So we've got our medjool dates here. I have whole dates, so they have not been pitted, so I'm going to show you how we do that. And then we have a couple of cheeses here as well that we'll talk about in a second. So I've done some of the dates already. And halved them. So some of these dates have little nubbin ends like this. So what we're gonna do is we'll just take, I have a paring knife right here. We're gonna take this and then just take the little nubbin off, put that off to the side. And then to take the pit out, we're just going to take the just the tip of the paring knife and into the date. And they're very soft. They even though they're a dried fruit, they're a little chewy still, so it's not really difficult to cut through those. So don't apply much pressure. Then we are going to just split it open. So this here, we have the seed from that. We'll put that in our little trash pile, and then there you have the pitted date. You can buy them pitted. These ones that I bought, there wasn't any price difference, and I figured I'd just share with you how we do that. So we'll go through a couple of these here. See, for example, this didn't really have the nubbin ends on either side, so we're just going to again take the tip of the paring knife, softly, gently slice that down the side, make an incision, open it up, and then take out the seed. Excellent. So this made me really curious as to where dates come from. I was thinking, you know, I've never heard of like a date fruit myself where I've grown up, or the foods that I've eaten. Is this kind of like a raisin where it was a fruit before and then it gets called something else once it's dried? But no, I learned that date fruit is actually the fruit of a date palm tree. And whenever these come to the Western world, they're dried to preserve them, but you can eat them fresh as well. And that's what I know about dates. Unless you're talking about like bad dates and getting stood up, but I feel like that's an entirely different show, so I won't share that here. All right, so we have a couple more here. Oh, that had a little nub in it. Almost escaped me. All right, just take that off. Very careful. And if you've never had dried fruit before, whether it be in, you know, a trail mix or anything at all, I would highly recommend giving dried fruit a try. It's a really interesting texture. It's a different way to experience the fruit, and why not? Always good about learning here. Okay, so before we get into the cheese, we're actually going to talk about the prosciutto here. So I have 19 dates. The recipe calls for 24, but I figured these are all for me, so I'll just have one package. And so we're gonna get strips of prosciutto because we'll be wrapping these up later. So these are thin slices of prosciutto, and we're going to take them off one at a time here. And I am going to see how much prosciutto, like how long these strips are to wrap around the dates. So I've just folded that, sliced it, and now I have this little half here. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is our average date, and yeah, that looks like it's gonna be a good size. So we will make these, and these get really finicky, so I'm gonna kind of lay them very orderly here. We'll cut up a couple more of these. And prosciutto is fancy ham. It's thin. It does have a good robust flavor, and these will get crispy whenever we put these in the oven, which, oh, I forgot to mention, we do need to preheat the oven to 375. So let me go over there and do that before I forget. Okay. Ta-da. And start. Excellent. So you'll preheat the oven at 375 degrees. Now, my assumptions are that that will be finished by the time I get these all wrapped, which, seeing as how this prosciutto is going, that will probably be the case. This looks like it's gonna take a little while. And then prosciutto, this is actually cured. So if I wanna eat these as little snacky bits, I might leave this to the side. Okay. Now you see all of these ingredients. When you hear these words, I know when I did for the first time all of these together, I think fancy. I don't think every day. I don't think that I'll have this in the kitchen. So this can be quite an impressive appetizer or snack. But as you're gonna see today, it's really easy to assemble. Most grocery stores have these items readily available. And then if you don't have these exactly, you can find similar substitutes. So I'm sure like a thinly sliced ham, or there are other variations of this recipe that are bacon. So thinly sliced bacon you can use. We'll go ahead and get into the cheese conversation. So you see here I have blue cheese because that's what the recipe calls for. I love blue cheese. I was very fortunate to have folks who introduced me to cheese platters as a form of dessert, which I never thought I would be a fan of because I love sweet cake, pies and things, cookies, all that, but blue cheese really grabbed my heart. What I have for us today is a cambazola, which is a brie mix blue cheese, Gorgonzola, Cambenzola. And these are both a milder blue cheese flavor. So if you're kind of introducing to folks, I would probably do Cambenzola. It's creamier. It has less of the blue flecks that we're gonna see here with this Danish style blue cheese. It has a lot of veining, a lot of the blue color. This look often frightens people. So if you're bringing this somewhere where folks might not be as receptive but might be adventurous in trying it out, then I would probably go a little milder. I have seen variations where you can do this recipe with whatever cheese you have at home. So a mozzarella cheese, maybe a cheddar cheese as well. I haven't had it that way myself because, again, I love blue cheese. But if you like all of these other things, I think that would be a great variation. So let me count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we need a few more here, and that will take us on our way. And as I am holding up this strip, of course, with most meats, you're gonna see the pink portion, or this tan portion, is the meat, and then there's some veining of the fat here, and then on the edge as well. That's gonna give us really crispy, melty goodness on these slices. And you saw some of these are just coming apart, and I will use them as asymmetrical wrappings, but that will be okay. This is kind of therapeutic to just pull these off. Whoop. There we go. And counting it out, I'm not sure I'm gonna have as many as I need, so we'll start with thinner strips, and then we can go back and layer as we need to. Ah. Yay! Okay. So we have all of our items to assemble. These in here are Marcona almonds, skinless. They're roasted and then salted as well. You can also use regular roasted salted almonds. You don't have to get these, especially if they're not around you. And then that would just be another great substitute to have. All right, so we'll put that away. So confessions, I had forgotten that I did not replace my cookie sheet yet. I use an air fryer a lot of the times, so I'm not always in the oven. If you want to talk about air fryers, let me know. So I'm improvising today. Instead of a cookie sheet, I have my glass baking dish here. I did go ahead and put parchment paper here on the bottom, and I'm also a nerd. So since I have two cheeses, and shout out to my girl Dora, we will be trying both items with the different blue cheeses. I have made like a little note on here so I know which one is which, because I know I am not at all going to remember which one I put in the oven, which way and all that. So just a little secret for you there. Don't feel shy about writing on your parchment paper. Okay, so you know what? Before we assemble this, just gonna give these cheeses a try. So this one, I am not going to use the rind, which is the crusty parts here, just because I want the texture to feel different from the other blue cheese. You can definitely eat the rind. Depends on what mood I'm in. But today I'm not gonna do that. So we'll just have a little nubbin of this blue cheese here. Yeah, that's excellent. Creamy, buttery, still that hint of blue cheese flavor, but I feel like if you're not someone for blue cheese, that this would feel a little more familiar for you. There is like a back flavor of the funk of the blue cheese, but nothing that I think is too frightening. Okay, so I'm going to take some of this here. Okay. Wow. If I was by myself, I'd probably eat all of that wedge. That's a really good, if you like blue cheese, that is it. Funk. I can't remember the song. Somebody tell me in the comments if you know the song. I'm also terrible with music. I could be not thinking of any song and I just made it up. But again, this Danish blue cheese, it's coming through not only a funk, but a spice. Yeah, I wouldn't give first time blue cheese triers this first. I'd probably do this and then level up. But that is great. So what we're going to do to assemble these, very, very simple. So we're going to take a date, and then we'll go ahead and do almond first. And then we are going to put a nubbin of blue cheese here, like this. Whatever your heart tells you is what I'll say. Thanks, Evan. Okay, so now you're gonna try to close the date all the way over both of these things. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some prosciutto and you're going to wrap the date. Okay, this is why I didn't want to like pile them onto each other because they're very sticky. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to put like this prosciutto over the incision of the date and like wrap like this because I want to help the cheese stay as much as possible into the date. And then I'm just gonna wrap it, and I'm gonna remember where the incision of the date is. You can probably also see it to the side if it's poking out. And we are going to put the incision side up to hopefully have the cheese melt into the date. And then that way we don't have it ooze out everywhere. That cheese gold. Okay, so this was Cambozola. We're gonna put it on the Cambozola side. And then we're gonna make a few more of those, and then we'll switch over to the Danish style. Okay, so let me move this out of the way a little bit so you can see what is happening. Okay, so the rind, scrape that off. If you want to save it for folks later, you can, if they're the people who enjoy rind. Okay, and I'm gonna take, this is a strong nubbin. We'll go ahead and do that. I'm gonna put the cheese in here, and you can kind of smash it. That's fine, because it's going to, it's gonna get melted anyways. Okay, an almond. Try to put it together, and then we're gonna take a slice of prosciutto, and then again, kind of flop that over the incision. So the part where the prosciutto meets the ends, you don't have ends on the incision. And then kind of, it's like wrapping a gift. Okay, excellent. Na, na, na. And then the other nubbin, I guess, I saw these variations of like what other cheese you can put in here, but I just love blue cheese so much. Put you down. There we go. Put that in there. And you know what? I'm kind of being conservative with these prosciutto slices because when I counted, I don't feel like I have the right numbers for my dates. If we have any left over, then we can just top it on there. Okay, we'll do one more of the Cambozola. Before we started, I did take the cheese and the prosciutto out for this to soften up a little bit so it was more malleable. I think that was a good idea for the cheese. Might not have been so good idea for the prosciutto. I think that's why it's so sticky. But you know what? We're still going to be able to use it and it's still going to taste delicious. Okay. All right, this is a big date, so we'll get a big slice of prosciutto. Okay, this. Like this. And if it's got like, you know, little flappies to it, just stick it to each other. All right, Cambozola. Boom. Now, we're gonna put you back here for a moment. Let's try some of this Danish blue cheese. So this is gonna be a little bit more crumbly. So we'll try to see if it stays intact, that's what I was hoping would happen if I took these out to not get warm, but just a little softer. Okay, ooh, that's nice. That's really nice. Put that almond in there. And you know, if you are someone who loves almonds, because I'm like, these are big nubbins of cheese that I'm putting in here because that's my preference. If you love almonds, if you want to put more than one almond into the date, that's, you do you. That is all for you. Because some of these dates are rather large and the Marcona almonds are a little bit smaller, so no harm, no foul. Danish blue, we'll put you over here. Little almond. There we go. Use this one. Smaller date. Smaller prosciutto. There we are. Look how easy this is. Perfect. Oh, and I don't remember where the incision is, so guess what? I checked the side. Found it. There we go. Oh, hello! Shelina is taking an awful long time wrapping those dates, don't you think? So I figured, let's make a cocktail. We are going to be making a Negroni, just because we have the stuff in the house, and yeah, why not? So this is going to take 1.5 ounces of gin, whatever kind that you have, Campari or Aperol. We have Aperix, which is very similar, and then also sweet vermouth. So very important that you get some sweet vermouth. Okay, so I have a fancy cube of ice, just the one. All right, so we're gonna do this, and I am not a professional, so I will be using the jigger here. Here's my little half. Okay, perfect. Ooh. And if you have not had an Aperol Spritz before, I definitely recommend trying one. That is one of my favorite drinks. And I don't have one of my other favorite drinks, which is Prosecco. Otherwise, we would be making that. Okay, Smells delicious, orangey goodness. Had a napkin waiting in the wings. She's always prepared. Sometimes. Okay. Perfect. Look at this beautiful color. And lastly, the vermouth. Woo. Okay. And before I made this, I did indeed search the World Wide Web as to why, how a Negroni was made. There was some captain, last name Negroni, didn't think his Americano cocktail was strong enough, which had some usual culprits in there that had red vermouth and Campari and soda water. So yeah, he just straight up took 3 liquors, put them together, Negroni! So we have Swizzle Spoon. This is more difficult to stir than I had thought. I think that's good. We made it. Okay. So, here is our Negroni. She fancy. And now, she has a hat. Let's go to the races, shall we? Ooh. Ooh. That is good. So, if you're not interested in having 3 straight up liquors on a rock by yourself, I do also have my break time spicy water or seltzer water. This is tropical cherry. I'm not gonna measure it. I'm just gonna top it off and see how this goes, because I like the bubbles. I like the effervescence. Because I'm effervescent. Oh shoot, that is delicious. I highly recommend, again, that was tropical cherry, if you want to know the seltzer water that I poured in there, but she's a good one. All right, let's go see if those dates are done. Beautiful. And then scooch, scooch. That makes sense. Perfect. Okay, let's put them in the oven. Look how beautiful. These are my Cami babies and my Dani babies. And we'll go ahead and put these in the middle of the oven. And again, 7 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna be checking these in 7 minutes. But until then, I had too many dates because, you know, I had exactly the right amount of prosciutto. So I'm gonna have this snack, and then in 7 minutes we're gonna check these, see if they need to come out, and then we'll have a taste. All right. It's time. Let's check out our dates, see how they're doing. Okay. Ooh, oh, the smell. Look how beautiful they are. Okay. So what you'll do is you'll want to wait a few minutes to let these kind of settle, for them to cool down a little bit so we don't have molten lava inside of the dates. We will come back and put them on separate plates. We've given these little date babies time to cool down, and we're ready to plate them up. So I have 2 different plates here. That way we can continue to differentiate between the 2. And then I see my little markers here. So I am going to put the Cambazola on the lighter plate, more mild flavor. And some of the cheese had oozed out, but we look just fine. So we'll put these on here. Oh, maybe I should put them more in the middle. There we go. Oh, perfect. These are so beautiful. That prosciutto just looks delicious, so inviting here. Okay, Cambazola done. And now the Danish crumbly, fragrant, funky, delicious blue cheese. I don't know why I'm putting them so orderly. The other one was so loosey-goosey. These are so regimented. Boop. Okay, perfect. Let me get my mitts. Oh, nope, they are right here. Just in case she's still hot. Put you there. Okay, perfect. Oh my God. Where did this come from? Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I'm glad we have that. Okay. Here it is. We are going to, I'm going to take a little knife. Oh, I said knife. It's got an almond in it. Well, I guess you're going to watch me eat a whole date. Here we go. The perfect bite. Some of that blue cheese smell, but not overpowering. It's inviting because of the prosciutto, the creaminess of what it looks like a little bit oozing out here. And here we go. We're gonna have it with the prosciutto and the almond. This is our cambazola. There's the creaminess, the nuttiness from the almond really highlights, marries with the earthiness of the cambazola cheese. That creaminess, the smoothness. Again, I think if someone is really interested in trying to get into blue cheese, they kind of want to dip a toe into a more funky cheese, this cambazola is where you need to be. And again, that almond just bringing in the smokiness and the nuttiness, just marrying it all together, and then the carameliness of the date, and then that prosciutto, just the perfect present wrap to the date. Okay, y'all, this is what I am actually looking forward to, because my little tasty taste earlier with the blue cheese and the date without the almond and the prosciutto, heaven. So here we go. Funky cheese. Funky, funky. In that punch of blue cheese. I think I actually really equally enjoy both of these. I don't know if it's because of how small the almond was in that particular bite. It's less prominent. Also probably because of the strength of the blue cheese flavor, but it does, the almond still highlights the earthiness of that blue cheese. But both of these banging, absolutely amazing. You saw how easy it was. Now it's just about getting the ingredients in the place that you're in. The dates hopefully are a little easier to find. Marcona almonds might be a little bit tricky, but again, just roasted salted almonds. Prosciutto, you don't have prosciutto, bacon, and then that cheese, put in whatever you feel like that you want for cheese. Again, I'm gonna highly recommend to try the blue cheese, but like I said earlier, mozzarella, cheddar, something, just to spice it up a little bit. This is kind of like a charcuterie board in a little bite. So I agree with Anthony, this is absolutely a perfect bite. And I am so grateful and thankful for you to be here with me, trying all of these things, trying, what is this? Just deliciousness in a glass. But again, I'm so happy to have you here at Cultural Dishcovery, and I hope that you'll continue to join me here. If you've got any appetizers, celebrity cookbooks, or cooking recipes, things that you want to recommend or have me try in your culture, please leave them in the comments below. Connect with me. I would love to try that out with you. Thank you again for coming, and I hope to see you here next time. Have a good one.